So when I say, well, okay, again let me ask the question again. How many of you have earned their first rupee or first paisa in this world today? Okay, one, two, three, four, four. Yes. Are you comfortable in sharing how did you earn? Obviously, it doesn't include shaguna. So don't say I went to my grandma's home and she gave me 500 rupees income. Yes. Are you comfortable in sharing, any four of you? Yes. Yes. No. Please. We'll start with you. But that's not income, na. Sit down. If pocket money is an answer, it is like a mandatory shagun. Correct. Consume with the camera. Right? Yes. No need to stand. I can see you, all of you. So pocket money is not an income. Huh? Okay. Yes. You did accounting? Oh. Okay. You did tally accounting. So you know tally. Okay. Part time, right? Yes. So very good. How much did you earn? First assignment, not the overall. First assignment. Very good. Very good. Please sit down. So she paid you. So he paid you. He paid you. Okay, sure. Very good. Yes. Anybody else? Very good. So manual work, skilled work. That's okay. Ah, correct. Very good. So some few people have real money earning capacity. Everybody has money earning capacity, but few people have already tested it out. Okay. Now, can I say? Tell me if I'm wrong. Can I say the whole study which you are doing for CA Foundation, the whole effort which you will take to clear CA Inter, the whole slavery which you will do for 3 years, or let us strike off the word slavery and say whole articleship which you will do it for 3 years. Okay, Sayana, please delete that word slavery. Otherwise, institute will ban me. Then, then after that, you will write 8 papers of CA final, and then you will clear out bright. Yes, and you will get a qualification. So why is that efforts? Why your precious 5 years of your life you are giving into this course called chartered accountant? Do you believe your time to be precious? Yes, no. Yes, at least you believe that your time is precious, right? So you are giving 5 years of almost 4 5 years depending on new scheme, old scheme. So that time it might change, but you are going to give almost 5 years of your life to this course. So why is that? So you do you think it should worth how much? Any aims? Luxurious. Okay. First word which I have got is I wish to have a luxurious life in return of this efforts which I am putting. Okay. Any steady income. Very good. So we wish to have a luxury. I don't know how soon you will be able to reach it, but one thing for sure is there would be steady income. Okay. My camera. Yes, financial freedom. So okay, ठीक है. Financial freedom, that means you are not dependent on pocket money. Correct? No? Yes. Take this screen only, but it is very bright. No? Okay. So you are not dependent on pocket money. That is financial freedom. Okay. Anything else? Very good. So everybody is not doing it for money. Some people are also doing it for name, fame, reputation, recognition. Okay. Let us use the word recognition. This is a little broader word than anything else. Huh. Right? Anything else? That's it. Recognition, respect, reputations. Okay. But to be very honest, respect will not come only by doing this course. You have to do some deeds which will make you respectable. Okay. Yes. Yes. Have you ever thought about this? Have you closed yourself in for 1 hour in your room and have thought, am I going to take 5 years? I'm going to pledge almost 4 or 5 years of my life for a particular course, is it worth doing it? Have you asked this question to yourself? So you have got these four answers, that's it. Nobody is doing because your parents want you to do. No, so you are all free. There is no external pressure. Okay. So nobody is doing only because your friend is doing it. Oh, big no. Thank you so much. So then again, nobody is doing because somebody like me counseled you to do it. Okay. Then obviously important question comes up, how did you get to know about this? Some internet search, some YouTube videos, some XYZ things, right? So what has made you come to this course is that money attracts, like you have magnet which attracts other metals, similarly money attracts human being, and most of the inspiration which you would have got from any source which you would have got this inspiration, you would have found that person to be successful in more or less the way from wherever you have got the advice which you accepted it, you would have found that person to be successful. You would have found that person, okay, I want to be like him or her. That could be any storyline which you might have, but that's okay. Each person's life is different, and at the same point of time each chartered accountant is also different, right? Now in the dynamic world which we are going through today, it is very much important that we understand we are not only into accounting, auditing, taxation, right? That is there by default, that is there, nobody is denying that, but there is something much bigger than that which could be possible, and that is nothing but your time. Always everybody looks for a better return on time, and whole of that study, that how do we make money with the least possible effort. Everybody makes money, like few people have shared their experience. So one, in order to you earn 500 rupees, you might have would have spent a whole day, correct? Some people with the help of skills, so he did a manual work, he spent a whole 8 hours 9 hours a day, and then he got 500 rupees. He might would have got that 300 400 rupees just only by doing a 2 hours accounting job. Yes, so you understand that if you channelize your efforts in a particular direction, the proportion would increase. When you do a manual work, you will be paid less for your time. When you do a little skilled work, you get paid more for your time, and this proportion keeps on increasing. Yes or no? This proportion keeps on increasing as and when you get more and more skills, correct? Now coming to the academic side, we have commerce as one of the vertical. In that commerce, if you ask me, is there any course which deals with all the branches or mostly branches, is chartered accountancy. In that chartered accountancy course, what do we predominantly look into? What do we predominantly look into? We almost look into each and every aspect, obviously mastering some aspects of accounting, auditing, taxation, financial management. But the best thing or the underlining thing which we get is we get more skills which will help us to earn more with less efforts. So whole of your 5 years of efforts which you are going to put into this course is only to learn one single agenda, how to put less and less time in order to increase more and more return, right? That is something which is also been specializedly or also been dealt specially with something called as economics, right? You all would have heard of, yes, economics is nothing but how do we manage money. Economics means economics, this, that, everything. But if you ask me in my own definition, if I have to define economics, economics is simple study wherein I put less and less effort and get more and more money, or I at least make manages, right? Or find out ways to put less efforts and generate more output. Are we all good with this? Now with this, let me just introduce myself. Obviously I myself is a chartered accountant. right? I've done also few other qualifications like company secretary, CMA, and other qualifications apart from being a post qualified in 4 courses, right? So I have, technically speaking, more degrees than alphabets in my name. That's why I've chosen to spend my experience with you, so that I would be able to learn from your young minds, and at the same point of time I can motivate you in order to see this profession from a different perception. Yes, you should always have a better perception for your life, right? So that is what the behavioral sciences says, and one of a very important science is how do you manage money, especially in the today's world. Management of money was not that peculiar if you go back like 50, 30, 40 years back, right? But in the today's world it has become very, very, very important, because it is not like you have to reach a certain age only then you can start earning. Anybody can start earning. Even kids at age of 4 start a YouTube channel, have millions of views, correct? So things have changed, right? Prerogative have changed, and that is how the economics have also changed, right? Institute has also brought in some changes apart from what micro macroeconomics which we used to study earlier. They have at least changed 50% of the portion when it came to the new syllabus of CA foundation, right? Luckily we still have economics CA foundation paper as still 100% MCQ, right? So is it good or bad? Good or bad? Some people say bad because I am good in writing. If you give me one line I can make it 100 lines, right? But unfortunately that BCom technique will not work in CA, right? Where you get marks based on the weight, here you will get marks based on your concepts. Here MCQ obviously is a better way to assess somebody's knowledge, especially if it is a competitive exam, right? So that is why economics being a subject, they have specifically mentioned that we will keep it as a MCQ, because here we people have already come from 11th and 12th background. If most of the people who comes from a commerce background always will have an economics as a paper, so they have already gone through what is diminishing marginal utility, what is economic marginal utility, everything, all that sort of things they have seen. So what additional value add we can do to them is something which we are supposed to study here. Are we all good? Yes. So at least 50% of the CA foundation economics paper is familiar, right? What is that? Microeconomics or business economics. Now I need not get into the details, you yourself will know that the first part talks about demand supply, right? Yes, cost, productions, yes, pricing. These are the few things which we will talk about. But now when we go to the business and commercial knowledge, right, that is something we will understand a different ambit. So you, economics has been divided into two parts. 50 marks is economics, that is microeconomics, and another 50 marks has come for, yes, can somebody, BCK, what is that? Business commercial knowledge, right? Business commercial knowledge. Are we all good? Done? Yes, no need to write, there is no discussion which is required to be written over here. Okay. Right, now let us come to the basics of economics. Today there is no writing work required, only thing is you should learn and absorb. That is what I want. What is the actual content of the economics, how much is the weightage, that all we'll discuss when we formally start it. Today is not a formal starting, today is just an introductory session. I just wanted to scratch your existing knowledge and show you how the economics will work. Let us take you to like 200, 300, 400 years back. Are you interested in history? Yes. At least in order to study economics, you should be interested in history, right? All of us know that Britishers entered India as a businessman, right? They took economics as a route in order to capture the whole country. Not only our country, almost every country in the world which they have made them as a colonies, they have got it. Nobody wondered how it is possible for them to, okay, you can acquire them, that's okay, but how could you continue to control them for more than 100, 200 years? That's a challenge, right? Yes. How many of you thought in that particular manner? Is economics that powerful? Is economics that powerful? Yes. It is not only about India. If you have to understand, it was about all the nations which were under the British colonies. See, don't have a nationalized feeling that we were bad, or we don't have this thing, or we don't have courage to fight back. We always had courage to fight back against anybody. But the only thing is, we were still under the control, and we did not have that kind of a revolt. Even today, we cannot broadly say that we have killed Britishers and got our independence back. They left us, we took it. That's it. And that too, why they left us? Because of World War. If suppose there was no World War One and World War Two, which has happened, economics of Britain would not have gone to that weaker stage, and then they will not have any incentive to leave us. Correct. So, keeping that into derogatory, let us start our discussion. The whole thing starts with the something called as transaction. How many of you know what is a transaction? What do you mean by transaction? What is the English meaning of a word transaction? Dealing with the other party? Yes. Dealing with other party, exchanging goods or services for a consideration? Yes or no? So you all know there was no money. There was only barter. There was only barter, yes or no? Now when there was only barter, obviously things were much easier than it. People used to work in a smaller community. They will only have one village who is transacting among themselves, right? They had their very basic needs. Mostly food was a basic need which they had, right? And they used to exchange the items with one another. That was one of the peaceful time of the world, and the peace was disturbed when this money was introduced. You might think it in a wrong manner, but that's a fact, right? And as the money was introduced, it was showcased that it is going to ease out the transactions, right? It will make the matching easier. What is matching? I need 10 bags of wheat, right? And I have one buffalo which I wanted to exchange. You don't need a buffalo, but you have wheat. So there is a matching issue in the barter system. So that matching issue was resolved by introducing money into the system, and we needed something which is scarce. Scarce means limited. We needed something which is limited. So the only thing which was limited was gold or silver at that time, which we came to know, right? So some countries started to use silver as their standard and made coins of the silver and have given a value to those coins, and now people have to just carry those coins and they can buy thing. And that was one of the, you can say, if after Adam ate the apple, that was the second biggest invention which happened in the human life, was invention of money, because it made so many problems easy. But with the advent of World War One, the things got changed. Earlier what happened is, one silver coin is equal to one silver coin, that's it. The intrinsic value of money, you know how, what do you mean by intrinsic value? No no Face value is, suppose you have 10 rupees note with you, the amount written is 10 rupees, so that is called 10 rupees. But can you use this piece of paper for anything else which can give you the value of 10 rupees? Correct? Yes? No? Suppose you have coin of 1 rupee coin, okay? If you melt, you will get the metal worth 1 rupee. That worth of the commodity by which you are using as a currency itself is called intrinsic value. So until the World War One, which I am talking about, WW1, not WWE, yeah? So it is up to World War One, intrinsic value was equal to face value. Understand? So whatever is the value written on the face, the same was the value it is there. So people were comfortable in using it because they know any day I can liquidate this asset and get my worth back. Correct? Yes or no? But World War One, fighting a war is a costly affair. Yes. So what happened? That is the first time when the Britain decided कि भैया ये तो possible नहीं है because we don't have that much gold. By the World War One, the silver was replaced by the gold. Right? By we don't have that much of gold so that we can fight this war. So what they did? Yes, they said, now I'm just simplifying, oversimplifying it. They said 80 paisa worth of intrinsic value will have a face value of 1. So they depreciated it by 20%. That was the first time you would have seen a devaluation of currency. Right? I'm just oversimplifying it. They have not done it this way. They have done it some other way, but the actual result was this. Correct? Yes or no? Are we able to understand this? Right? So World War One took them to next hell. World War Two took it them to the another hell. Right? And that is why after the World War Two, actually literally they don't have any money in order to maintain their colonies. What are the colony? India was also a colony. In order to maintain a colony, at least you have to pay your officers salary who are deployed in India. You have to manage their resources, everything you are supposed to do. So they didn't had money to manage a country like this. Not only India, countries like African countries, so many things. Ultimately what they decided, ठीक है भैया, ले लो आजादी, ले लो इनकलाब जिंदाबाद, ले लो जाओ ऐश करो. Yes, so this is how economics plays out the major role. Even today, if Russia is fighting with Ukraine, don't think they are fighting only because of NATO. There is obviously a bigger thing which is there. And if all the wars which are being fought after World War Two, the people who are benefited are those people who were able to mix arms and ammunitions. And the world's largest manufacturers of arms and ammunition is America. So there are so many things which economics will do, right? All of you are above 18, right? No. Okay, almost. Okay. I have one small video for you to be played. I don't know how you will take that video. But after the video, you can give me an answer in relation to this background. Okay. Anna, only screen petty. This might be little disturbing, but try to understand the core of economics. I'm giving a very serious stuff now. How many of you are little touched? Hmm. How many of I believe that it was little extreme, maybe more extreme, because you are all been habituated to see very soft content. Yes, but this is not that soft content because my subject is not soft. Thing is very simple. What is there in the name? Can somebody please tell me why that white guy was so uh, I do not want to use the word, but still was so much particular about him to change a name. His original name was Kuntakanti. Yes, maybe that comes from his region or something. He wants to give him a some taboo name. Your name is Tarbi, something like that. Why is that? No, it is not about racism. That's why it has to be a little deeper. How many of you have heard or you have a city in India by name Madras? You don't know whether you are mad or rascal, but I don't know how that city name has come to Madras. It was actually Chennai. This is a very old, proven technique of economics. In order to conquer somebody, in order to bring somebody into slavery, is to take away everything what he belongs to. Do we all belong to? If suppose I tell my name Pavan, at least some information you will get to know only if I say my name. Yes or no? If suppose my name was Pongo, you all have got a name, right? Are you able to relate with that name? Are you able to relate with that name, right? Indian culture is generally whenever they give you a name, they will actually will think of a meaning and will give you a name. Yes, at least in the Indian culture we have it, and that is there across, especially in the tribal regions and other regions of African countries, right? So why it is very particular about being named? So because if I have to make you work for me for your entire life, I should take away everything which belongs to you, and the first thing should go is your name. Because if you have Pavan as a name, you are identified with the religion, you are identified with the region, you are identified with the language. If suppose I take away your name, your son, your next generation will not know from where they came. Yes or no? If suppose your father name was Tobo, the same name, and you born to him, what he will name you? Kobo. What does it mean? No. What is there in the name? All this general slangs which is been used is just to mitigate you or to migrate you to a different economics. There are so many scams going on in order to just promote different kind of a world, and that's why economics is at the same point of time a very brutal subject, and at the same point of time if you understand it well, it will give you immense, and that is the economics as a subject. And from your curriculum perspective, economics will lay foundation for 100 mark in CA inter and another 200 mark in CA final. So if you don't understand this subject well, you can easily forget to get any marks in one subject, that is financial management and economic of finance in paper 8 in CA final, CA inter FM, and again strategic financial management and one elective paper which is economics. Again there is one more paper 100 marks. So that is the curriculum importance, but at the same point of time life wise also it has got a really good importance. All the wars which are being fought, I can give you as simple example as this. How many of you time you see an ad that you should drink water as often as possible? You should drink water in smaller sips as possible. Have you seen this? Yes, you will have so many apps which will keep on giving you reminder every 25 minutes, drink water, drink water, drink water. Yes, do you know what happens if you drink so much of water at if you drink water at such a small intervals? you will feel more and more hungry. And if you feel more and more hungry, all MNC companies will have some business to do with you. Yes, everything has been linked to ultimate economics. Everything has been linked to an ultimate economics. Now, there are obviously good economics as well. How many of you have seen a Colgate advertisement? You know what is Colgate? Toothpaste? Yes. Now, Colgate was also going through a similar kind of a challenge that they had almost 70% of the Indians as their customers, or you can say 70% of the whole world, or 50-60%. They had a very good market share in the toothpaste segment, right? So I have shown you the darker side of economics. Let me also show you the brighter side of the economics. Now, the question in front of them was, how do we increase the sales? Everybody is already using it. Only if the new people take birth, they get their teeth, then we can promote. Otherwise, there is no promotion. Yes. Can you think of an idea if suppose you are into that strategic meet, you are in chief economics of that company, they give you with the simple problem, sir, we are serving almost to everybody, right? Yes, each person has got now their favorite toothpaste brand. They are reluctant to change. If they are doing close up, means close up. They will not brush their teeth, or if they brush, they will do it only with close up. So that uh, uh, attached, we have customers. Now we have got 40-50% of the customers. We don't think that we will be able to get more sales only by selling to new and new customers. It has become difficult for us to find new and new customers with every passing day. So what we should do? Simple question. Yes, let's see what is your answer to that question. Sorry, attractive. You already, that is what company says. I have everybody as my customer. Now there is nobody left to attract. If suppose some people are not my customers, they are using Pepsodent or some other brands, they will not change. If somebody is using my Colgate, if a Pepsodent comes, they will not change. If somebody is using Pepsodent, Colgate comes, they will not change. So getting new customers is become challenge or difficult, you can say. The only way to grow forward is to grow. How should we grow if we cannot acquire new customers? Tell me. That is the problem. You understood the problem, na? Yes, that is what the problem. Is that a valid problem? Yes, everybody is brushing their teeth. If suppose some people are not brushing, then we can target them. We can make them. But as of now, we have come to a stage. Even in the rural to rural India, everybody is brushing their teeth. Okay, so how would you increase this? How would you solve this problem? Yes. Again, what does advertisement will bring? New customers, or what advertisement you want to play? You cannot do that ads. There is a simple reason why, because it is not medically proven. Hmm. Yes, participate. You cannot show an ad. I'm just for the recording purpose. I'm saying you cannot show an ad. Okay, if there is a burn on the screen, you can apply Colgate, so this will apply. So that is not possible. They cannot do it. Otherwise, Ramdev Baba will come on the television screen and will say Pepsi can be used as a toilet cleaner. Already we have. How much you will use? You will use a limited quantity every day, na? हाँ ठीक है, अरे भाई करोगे तो एक ही बार ना, चाहे कितने फ्लेवर दे दो. प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट दैट. Came up with a revolutionary idea, and then after they came up with that idea, every toothpaste company copied pasted that idea. What they did is, we provide protection only for 12 hours a day. Simple. They come up with a same simple advertisement campaign saying that we will provide protection only for 12 hours a day. That means what they shown in that one particular ad is, mom was there and they said, even in while before you go to bed, you brush your teeth. Sales doubled. If suppose they are able to tackle everybody and make them, convince them to do it 2 times, sales doubled. Yes. So this is also a brighter side of economics. Likewise, you have so many different case studies which you can do, right? BCK deals only with case studies. There is one dedicated chapter, chapter 3, which is only about case studies. Can I take one more case study? This was about British Airways. How many of you know about British Airways? Like you have Indigo, Air India, all those things, right? British Airways also had a one very simple challenge. They said, sir, everything is fine. I'm talking pre-COVID levels, sir. Everything is fine, businesses are growing, everything is growing, right? People love to travel, but why my sales are not going up? British Airways is asking their marketing team, people are spending money, they wish to travel, there is a need to travel, either because of business or luxury or leisure, right? But why they are not traveling, why the occupancy of flights are not increasing? Have you understood this? Have you understood what I'm trying to tell you? Simple question, please answer. This discussion happened somewhere around 2018. That is not the case only with British Airways, that is the case with whole airline industry. That none of the airline industry is able to see the growth in number of passengers. Again, economic study, case study for an economics. Yes or no? So far, you have studied economics as only a subject wherein you will make some demand supply, demand goes up, supplies goes down, I will get a price, this, that. Will write some pages. Right. They came up with an answer that the problem is video calling. A person sitting in US is easily able to discuss over long hours over a video call. There is no need for him to travel now. Until unless you have to shake hands, there is no need to travel. So obviously the competition has come from an industry, not from my peers, but from altogether different industry. Telecommunication became a competitor to the airlines company. How broader is the scope for economics? These are all brighter side of the economics. Obviously, wars, a darker side of the economics. Russia-Ukraine war, people are being crushed under the war, so many soldiers dying, so many families dying, are all the darker side of the economics. But any which ways case, we are going to deal with this subject in the most funniest manner, right? We have very limited content to deal with, but it is very knowledgeable content at the same point of time. And if we are able to learn this content, not only we will be able to get 100 of 100. This is one such subject which I can absolutely tell you, you will get 100 of 100. Why? MCQ. Until unless you don't do any humpky dumpky in the examination hall, you should get 100 of 100. And students, my students have already crossed 90s. So I'm still waiting for that one guy or a girl who can get 100 of 100, right? So that is one academic achievement you will have, because one subject will take care of your aggregate, balance subject you get 40-40, you are done. Okay. Coming to the second benefit of the subject is that it will form a base for all the future studies, especially if you are having this first discussion. When we started with this class, what discussion we had? We said it is very important to have luxurious life, steady income, everything. So you have to plan out. Don't ever think if you do some subjects, if you do some courses, if you do pass out some levels, you will be able to achieve what you get. Even today, I get CVs of chartered accountant ready to work for 35-40K. So if you believe 35 to 40K you can live a luxurious life, I don't know which country you live in, but at least in India it is not possible. Okay. So it is much bigger concept to look into, and at the same point of time it is much bigger perception also which you have to imbibe, right? So this side I just want to sign off for the today's class, right? Sai Garu will be done, right? I just came with only one perception, that I will give you the perception of what economics is, and now you have to tell me that have you got it, the perception what economics is all about? Have I actually busted your myths which you had already about the subject? So that is something which become very important for all of us. Okay guys, sure, you'll have right Anna, please stop it, right?